Hi, my name is Crystal, and I've had an abortion. Thank you for joining us tonight. And tonight we are being joined by a special guest. This is Sara from Rape Victims Advocate. Hi, Sara.
Hi.
It's nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, before I continue, I wanted to mention, please contact your legislators for House Bill 2354, the Reproductive Bill and Access Act. So, back to the show. Earlier this month, President Obama declared April Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Every 8 minutes in this country, someone is sexually assaulted, whether it's vaginally or anally. So Sara, so I want to ask you, what exactly is Rape Victims Advocate?
Rape Victim Advocates is an Illinois nonprofit organization that has two primary goals. The first of which is to assure that survivors of sexual assault are treated with dignity and compassion. Secondly, we aim to affect changes in the way the legal system, medical institutions, and society as a whole respond to survivors.
Okay, that's good. It's good to hear. It's nice to know that there's a program like that out there. What services do you offer exactly?
RVA has three distinct program areas. The first of which is counseling, which we offer to individuals and groups who are survivors of sexual assault or their significant others.
Okay.
The second is our advocacy program, and we provide legal and medical advocacy to survivors and their significant others. Medical advocacy helps them in the emergency room with getting the medications they need, the treatment they need, and then any follow-up care that they would need afterwards. Legal advocacy helps them navigate the legal system, so with working with detectives, navigating the court system, working with state's attorneys, that sort of thing. Okay. The last of our programs, the third one, is our education and training department, and they focus primarily on public education and prevention, either in schools or other social institutions. They also do professional trainings for professionals who are aiming to learn more about sexual assault.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because guys are busy over there.
We are pretty busy. Yeah.
That's good. Well, could you give me a little history of Rape Victims Advocates?
Sure. Rape Victim Advocates was formed in 1974 by an OB-GYN named Nancy Stevens and a group of Northwestern University medical students. They basically felt that typical emergency room resources weren't enough for the special needs of a survivor, that they needed a little bit more support, needed someone to kind of advocate for them when they were in the emergency room. Right. In July of 1975, RVA began working with emergency room staff at Grant Hospital. So volunteer advocates were available and on call in 12 and 24-hour shifts. So when a survivor would come to the emergency room and present as being a sexual survivor, they would page one of the advocates to come out and support them, run down options with them, and make sure they were getting the treatment they need. Today, RVA covers 13 Chicagoland area hospitals. So our advocacy services to those 13 hospitals are 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to anybody that presents in those emergency rooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a lot.
We try.
That's good. That's really good. Well, I want to ask you, how important are abortion services to your clients?
Very. One of the most important things to remember is that a sexual assault survivor, for a sexual assault survivor, is the hardest thing to deal with is a loss of control over their own body. Having options helps survivors to regain that control and take back the power of what happens to their body.
Okay. Wow. So there was a question from a caller. The question is, do you feel that Chicago schools are doing enough to address prevention and sexual abuse?
There are Chicago schools that are very active in contacting us and getting us in there, and then of course that are ones that could possibly be doing more. I do know that there was a mandate passed saying that prevention education is mandatory now for schools to get us in there and do that preventative education. you know, prevention education, it's like you can, more is better.
Yeah.
You know, so.
The more the better.
Right.
Definitely.
So.
Definitely.
That's how you have to answer that.
Okay. Okay.
Hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure it did. That was a very good answer. So what role does rape victim advocates, what role are they doing for Sexual Assault Awareness Month? I mean, is there going to be anything special?
Yeah, we've hosted events and done flyerings all month long. We did a bunch of flyerings in targeted neighborhoods, just about sexual assault awareness, statistics, that sort of thing. We participated in a few Take Back the Night rallies at college campuses or in universities. We've done public screenings of sexual assault documentaries, and we also just had our biggest event, which is Standing Silent Witness, and it was last Friday in front of the Daily Center. For that demonstration, volunteers, staff, and survivors wear teal-colored T-shirts that represent survivor stories of their sexual assault, and we stand silent for an hour, and people kind of observe us, and it's our way of kind of breaking the silence against sexual violence. So that's our signature event.
That sounds very moving.
It is. It's very powerful. It really is. Definitely.
Wow. You guys are doing a great job. Wow.
Thank you.
If I ever, know someone or whatever. So I know you've been told about the Hyde Amendment. You've heard a little bit about it. In 1976, Henry Hyde put up the amendment so that basically women cannot use public funds or state funds, federal funds, any type of anything that can be given from someone else to fund abortions. So I was wondering, how do you feel about that?
Well, RVA really wants to make sure that survivors have access to options. One option for them is definitely abortion.
Right.
Anything that reduces those options for them, RVA would not be in favor of. Government funding helps to pay for some of the emergency services that survivors are eligible for, being a crime victim. Abortion is definitely not one of those services that the government will fund or pay for, even if you are a victim of sexual assault. That being said, these women are now put in this position of having to find outside means for abortion services. And when that's something that they may have to pay for out of their pocket, or, struggle to search to find services that'll help them, it's just making the assault harder for them to overcome.
Exactly.
Realistically.
Yeah. Are there has that incident happened a lot with your clients? Or?
They are offered in the emergency rooms, emergency contraception.
Oh, okay.
So if they're within those guidelines, that's best taken within 72 hours, but can be taken up to 5 days. Generally, that, kind of prevents them from having to take that step.
Okay.
To be honest with you, since I've been at RVA, I have not had to struggle with, having to help someone find abortion services.
Okay. Apparently we have another question. Are there any crisis hotlines in Chicago that people can call who need help?
Definitely. They can call the Chicago Rape Hotline. And off the top of my head, I don't know that I know the phone number for that, but they can call the Chicago Rape Hotline. I'm sure they can, Google it or whatever, but that's a 24-hour hotline that I believe is actually operated by the YWCA. And it's available 24 hours for, referrals or any other needs that somebody would need.
Okay.
And then, of course, you could also call rape victim advocates. Unfortunately, we're not 24 hours, but, if it is within normal business hours, we're always willing to, make referrals and assist when we can.
Okay, that sounds good. So I wanted to put our information on the overhead for a minute, so because I didn't do it earlier in the show. So if you need help with an abortion, Chicago